back to another episode. Today we have Howie Zales with us. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, how you doing, Tyler? Nice to see you.
Very good. Grateful to have you on. So if you can start us off and tell us a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, I've spent the better part of 20 years in the television broadcast industry, mainly sports and entertainment. I started out as a camera operator, doing, Yankees, Mets, Islanders, Devils, Rangers games in the New York metro area. And then I slowly kind of made my way to more of the national level where I was doing Notre Dame football, did a Sunday night football, all different types of events for NBC Sports, Olympics, Super Bowls, and simultaneously also with the World Wrestling Entertainment. I was a camera operator backstage. And while I was doing that, I also had a company on the side where I was hiring TV crews for clients of mine that needed camera people, audio people, replay people, anyone that it took to do a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And then that's how kind of, so how is it Viridity Entertainment?
So Viridity Entertainment Services is our second company. HJZ Productions, our first company, is the hiring company that we do TV crews for. We started out really small, just in the New York area. And as time went by, we kind of got contracts, union contracts in all cities across the country. So we focus in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, but we do hire TV crews in many cities across the country. Viridity was born because of the pandemic. All of our work, just like so many other people in the entertainment business, ended March 11th. And we needed a way to pivot to make an income. And I knew this live streaming thing was out there. The technology was there, but the use of it was 5 years down the road. And it was, that's kind of how, there's a really cool story of how our second company, Viridity, was born.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about it. And just so I can distinguish, so the first one, just so I'm understanding, so if somebody wanted to like hire a film crew for an event or something, like instead of trying to piece together all the pieces or whatever, they could just hit you up and you're like, okay, I know what you need. You need these 4 cameras, these 4 types of individuals, and then they're set.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. And then the second one, so what was that? Can you go a little more in detail? Like what was that transitional period, and like not going into specific numbers, but like how hard, I guess, like was the hit, and that did you see it coming kind of when the lockdown started happening, or how did you move? Was it gradual?
Great question. So the lockdown, I think, was March 11th was our last show. And we hired crews, we invoice for them, and then we payroll them. So we payroll before we get paid. So I bring that up because the lockdown happened and we had literally paid everyone that we owed money to, but we were owed a few $100,000. So for 3 months during the lockdown, thankfully we had money coming in that was ours because we already had paid our vendors. So that was a little cushion to fall back on. But the uncertainty of the sports and entertainment business, I did a lot of research during that time period. And our company was chosen by West Point in June of that year to produce and hire the entire crew for the West Point graduation because the parents of the cadets weren't allowed to attend. So we hired the director, the producer, everybody. And when I was talking to the director, he said, I need to have my technical director. The technical director is the one that pushes the buttons when the director says camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. And meanwhile, I had 10 technical directors that have been sitting home for 3 months, not working, but my director wanted his person. And I was going to put up a fight, but something in my gut said, just follow your instinct, just go with what he wants. And long story short, I met this guy, Jamie, who turns out to be one of my closest friends now. We work on so many projects together. We collaborated on a lot of live stream productions, and he really taught me a lot about what I know about the live stream business. And the temple where I belong needed help with their services in September of that year. So together, Jamie and I put together a plan on how we were going to transition the temple from in-person services to live stream services. And that was like the beginning of the company, because I figured there's got to be a way to monetize this whole thing. And lo and behold, it kind of just happened.
And then what are, just so people can see the differences, because I've read through your website, like what are the main, I guess, differences, if you will, from like, say, like what we're recording. Well, so Zoom, I don't think does live stream, but maybe like StreamYard. These are just the names that are coming. I don't even know if they're close to even relevant.
Yeah,
But
no. StreamYard is more of a prosumer piece of software that people can use. We use a professional software called vMix, and we do it's a Windows-based software, and basically we do all of our production in an AWS, Amazon Web Services cloud. So, and we have a lot of redundancy built in. So typically on most of our productions, we have 3 or 4 people. Everyone is remote in their home. And so if the power goes out in my house, the stream continues to happen because it's still emanating from the cloud, and everyone else on the team knows how to do everyone else's job. So if someone goes down because of power, internet, computer, someone could just another person could jump right in and kind of take over.
got it. Okay, that makes, so there's really no chance of it going like all the way down.
I don't know you want to say that.
Likely. And if that happens, then we probably have bigger problems.
If Amazon AWS goes down, then we go Netflix and the whole world has got huge issues.
That's funny. So I'm curious, I always like to look at like biggest successes and biggest failures, because I think a lot of times, as I'm sure you're aware, on like social media, all you see is like the highlights.
Right.
So in your, entrepreneurial career, and maybe it was a specific event that your crew or one of your crews got hired for, like what was the biggest like failure that occurred? And then what did you learn from it? And then what do you think was like your biggest success in either of the businesses? Doesn't have to be first or second, but
yeah, we had a failure just in the HJZ, my first production company, just like about a week ago. The client needed an audio person to sit at the mixing console and mix the game, and a soccer game. And although he was qualified and came highly recommended to us, I had never worked with him before, but I trusted the recommendation of someone, and he tanked. And the client was super upset, and the announcers on the soccer game were super upset that they couldn't hear what they were supposed to hear. The people on the ground couldn't fix it. The person I hired, who I'm speaking about, couldn't fix it. And we had to, we still have to pay him for showing up and doing the work, but we can't bill our client for it because they weren't happy. So those are like monetary, hits and things we learned from. Maybe I should have vetted him better, but he did come highly recommended from someone. But things happen.
For sure. Okay, I got you. Now, and maybe there's a way, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but like if it's definitely their fault, like because sometimes it could be the tech, right? Like I don't think
absolutely
areas, but maybe that should be in the contract or something of like, if you are the reason that the whole thing blows up, then we should talk, or something.
Yeah. And I learned something every time there's a mistake, we learn from it, right?
Yeah.
We another big failure was, and we even had a contract with this company. We had a contract, they were going to pay us within 30 days. And that was April. They still owe us tens of thousands of dollars. So the mistake there was, new client, get my money up front next time.
Totally.
Even though I had a contract with them that they signed that said they were going to pay me within 30 days, next time, anytime I have a new client, they're going to pay us in full up front.
Yeah, what's it? So in my business, I normally do, it's mostly all up front, but like the way that I feel we are so connected now, I feel like the validity of contracts are less and less because, and there's more like handshake deals, because not that, and I wouldn't want you to do this, but like that company, whoever they are, that person, like that can get out and ruin a reputation so quickly now.
Yep.
Like my agreements with my clients are literally, and people laugh at me, they're like half a page, like 5 sentences, because to me,
Yeah.
it's just like,
And
dude, like I know we know the same people. Like this
yeah,
is
and we actually, because of that client, we added something to our agreement, which which says like, just because you don't get paid doesn't mean you don't pay us. Right.
yeah, definitely.
So, and we learn, from all these different types of misfortunes, if you want to call it.
So, and then up to this point, like, what would you say? Maybe it was, well, I'll go 2 directions. One would be like biggest success. And then did you have a project that was like the funnest one that you worked on?
Yeah, one of the so two really cool events with our live stream business. One was we did 5 live streams for our client around March Madness. And the 5th one was right before or led into the beginning of the final game. And it was with Jim Nance and Charles Barkley, Jim Nance for CBS and Charles Barkley. And they were just talking about the game. And halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, we had a surprise guest for Charles Barkley, and it was Magic Johnson. Everyone knew, everyone on the production and our team knew that Magic was going to be there, but Charles had no idea. And it was super stressful because we kept having to refer to Magic Johnson and his camera as we had a code name for it, because we didn't want to be responsible for giving it away, because Charles had no idea. And because we had to fax his technology out and make sure everything was working. And he was sitting there watching the whole show until we brought him on. And every time we spoke to Magic Johnson in his ear, we had to make sure that everyone couldn't hear who we were talking to and what we were saying. So it was super stressful, but super exciting because Charles had no idea, and the expression on his face was priceless. And the client loved it, and they were super happy. So that was a total success.
Dude, Charles is he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he and Magic, and I grew up watching Magic Johnson play basketball and Charles. So talking to those guys was like, for me, was amazing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think Charles, I mean, he's kind of acting it out in a sports arena, but he was a comedian in a different light.
Totally.
So I don't know, but basketball is obviously a good choice as well.
And another cool event we did last fall, we did a home run derby contest for Little League baseball and softball, and we had 10 boys one night, and 2 nights later 10 girls, and a major league player with the boys and a professional softball player with the girls. And we handed out the home run derby championship to one of the kids. So watching them go through the whole show, watching the videos of them hitting home runs, and they had no idea who was going to win. And that was a pretty rewarding experience.
That's sweet. Yeah. These events that you get to do. That's my little brother. He actually does video and photography too for like local spots here, like the restaurants and nightclubs and stuff. Like gets into all, Miami area, and like it's fun. Like it's a fun job. Like I don't know. So I think it's a good idea if you're interested, if you're creative and like into that stuff. I can see how it'd be a very passionate like living that you'd get to do.
Absolutely.
So also one of the things I like to talk about on the show too is like kind of behind the scenes of the work, right? So what does like your day-to-day look like from a work standpoint? And then how do you like balance it out, family, working out? Like what does that look like on like a weekly basis?
Yeah, no, awesome question. So when I was working as a camera operator, I was traveling 4 to 5 times a week. So my schedule was all over the charts. But I since kind of given that up, and I strictly run the businesses now. So my day starts the night before with my to-do list for the morning. 2 or 3 things I want to get done. I wake up at 5 a.m. I do those 2 or 3 things. I do an hour workout every day. And then by 9 a.m. I'm like showered, eaten 2 meals, worked out, done what I needed to do early in the morning, and I'm ready to go for the day. And just I have 2 people that run one business and one person that runs the other business, and we kind of just oversee all. And
got it.
So,
And then do you have like kids and stuff or no?
We have so there's a second marriage for my wife and I. So she has two boys that live with us. One of them is in college, and I have two boys of my own. They don't live with us, but I see them.
Okay, got it. So that as they say, they're out of the nest.
Yeah, some of them are out of it. Yeah,
I haven't had kids yet, so I'm still learning. Maybe one day we'll see.
But it's working from home now is so much better with the work-life balance.
For sure. Now, I'm curious on that. Have you found different techniques to like stay focused? Because I've actually never worked like for a corporation, right? I've always kind of had my own thing. And what I've discovered for myself was I can do like I'm in my home right now. I can do podcasts because it's interactive.
Right.
But when I have to do like focused, quiet work, it's very hard for me to do it in my home because it's just like kind of like, oh, my bedroom's 3 doors down. I could take a nap. The kitchen's 1 door down. I could eat something. So I like have to get a separate area like outside of my home. But have you had anything like that or?
I have an office in our house, and I try to do my work in there, and then like 5-6 o'clock comes or whatever, I kind of just shut the door, walk away from it, and try not to do any work during like the family time or time with my wife in the evening, because it's easy to get like sucked into that. And actually my wife worked from home before I did, and she kind of taught me how to do that. Once her day was done, she would shut the door to the office and wouldn't look back. So we try to do a lot of that.
Yeah, I think too, by the time, because we're actually pretty similar, I think our clocks, there's actually a book, and I've been trying to think of it as we were communicating. If I think of it afterward, I'll send it to you, but there's a book that talks about there's like 4 different types of people and it has to do with like when they wake up and when they go to bed. And so, for instance, like based on the reading, I would be like a lion because I get up anywhere from like 4 to 6. I'm like and that's when I'm most alert. And like I only drink coffee to really, it's just I enjoy it, but I don't even need coffee, like in all reality. But then 5 or 6, just like you are kind of saying, my brain is already kind of off by that point because I've been up for like 13 hours already.
Right.
So,
yeah,
but I'll have all my like important stuff, like my workout, my breakfast and lunch, and like all my hard like work stuff done by like noon.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day is just like kind of like I don't know, reading, or it'll be doing some work, but it's already mostly done by noon. And I know other people that are like the opposite, like they get up at noon, right? And like I can't even imagine, dude, like if I'm awake past 11 p.m., it is, call me because I need help.
I've eaten 4 times by noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way I'm awake at 11 p.m. unless I'm going to the bathroom.
That's the only fair enough. Yeah, I agree. And do you even see, for me, I don't even need an alarm clock either for the morning. Like it's almost like some days, like weekends are when I wish I could sleep in. Like during the week, I feel like it's a superpower because like I don't know, just 4 to 6 every morning I'm up. Doesn't matter. It just happens.
Totally. I set the alarm, but 9 times out of 10, I wound up turning it off because I'm up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then the weekend, it's like Saturday morning, and I'm like, really, 4 o'clock? Like, come on. Like, I can't do anything tonight now. I'm not gonna make it. Like, I'll try to go out with my friends because it is Miami. Like, stuff doesn't even really, the parties don't even start till midnight now. So I'm like, yeah, guys, at 5 a.m., I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And then like
no way.
the clock rolls around, I'm like, guys, I can't get off the couch. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get better at that, but so as far, because you said, I'm just curious, I'm kind of like into health a lot. So you said like 4 meals by then? I don't know if you were exaggerating, but is that
no, like I usually start the day off. I'll have coffee like when I wake up. I'll do maybe like a hard-boiled egg. Then right before my workout, I eat the Oikos 000 yogurt. It's high in protein.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll work out. Then I'll either, as soon as my workout's done, I'll either have a protein shake with almond milk, or I'll do like an egg white omelet with like some vegetables. I'll mix it up. And
Yeah.
if I don't have the shake after the workout, I'll have my shake like midday as like a snack. Um, then lunch, I'll do, a salad with some sort of protein in it. So yeah, by like 1 o'clock,
yeah.
I've eaten 3 to 4 times.
Now, have you ever tried fasting?
I did try fasting and it was difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I stopped torturing myself.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of like it's weird to me how there's like different things and how they affect you. Meaning, so I've tried a lot of the biohacking stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know why the ice bath I can actually do pretty easily, like an
I've
ice.
always wanted to try that.
Okay, so I think it's pretty easy because essentially what happens is like you get in and you literally feel like you're going to die. So like your natural reaction is to want to jump right out. But
Right.
once you like lay down and the water's up to your neck, essentially like if you just focus on your breathing, it's almost like I don't even know what to call it. Almost like an out of body experience. Like you
Okay.
just you're like numb almost. All of your senses are kind of weird, and if you just focus on your breathing, it's all slowed down. And
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just easy. Whereas a cold shower to me is like literally like bullets just hitting me over and over again. And people that do that every morning, okay, that is something that would keep me in bed after 6, because
Right.
if that's what I'm going to, like, if that's one of the first things for me in the morning is getting shot with cold pellets. Like, I'm not
No,
doing that.
thank you.
Like, I don't
No,
want to
thank you.
do so. And then the fasting, I actually did like, I lasted like, it was 4 to 6 months. I want to say I did like full keto and
Really?
fasting. Yeah. I was just eating like bacon. I was cooking with like bacon fat. It was hardcore.
Mm.
And I will tell you, there's a lot of science too on the carnivore diet. And I think everybody's different, right? I don't know, but it seemed to work. Like I actually lost a lot of weight. My energy was up, but it was just that beginning that was the hardest. Like
I'm sure.
I felt very nauseous for the first like month of like not eating for 16 hours in a day. And then I extended to 20. And then I actually did 24 hours a couple times. And I remember I would try to like wake up in the morning to do my workout while on that 24-hour fast. And there was a few times like I almost fainted. Like
I was
I
gonna
was,
say,
yeah. And then my doctor, he's like, dude, the thing about it is like you need a certain amount of protein. So if you don't get the protein in a 24-hour period, then I forget, I don't know the terminology, but
and you're
something.
not doing any good for your muscles either.
Yeah, yeah. And you can, so I don't know. It got to a point where just like maybe like you, I was just like, are the benefits outweighing my life being, you'd go to a restaurant
Right,
and it's
right.
like everybody's ordering like all these appetizers, all this stuff, and you're just like, I'll just do a grass-fed steak with butter. That is it. Like nothing else. And it was cool for a little. And then I was like, I need to, I gotta have my salad.
Right, right.
So, but it's fun to try them out. So one of my last questions for you that I want to ask is
Sure.
like, for what's the future look like? So you got two main companies.
Yeah.
You just focused on these two. Is there another one on the horizon?
No, we have another one we just started.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Cool.
we bought a content delivery network, or a CDN,
Yeah.
and it basically, you know, people like influencers or people that post on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those, right? If your followers are owned by those platforms, if the algorithms change, your followers won't see your content, right? So
Yeah.
what we're saying is we'll design you your own platform, your own website with your own white labeled player, right? So when you click on YouTube or Vimeo, it looks, and the player comes up, it looks like YouTube or Vimeo. We'll white label the player so it looks like your color scheme, your logo, and we house all your content. And instead of YouTube deciding which advertisements go before, in the middle, or after your content, you can decide. We can place those ads anywhere you want us to, and then you have total control. You can still post on those platforms, driving followers to your website, but basically we're creating TV networks for influencers now.
Okay, that's awesome. And I will say, and we could actually go a little deeper into that, because like anybody listening, I will tell you, I know, because I've been doing online stuff for 10 years. the algorithm, it's not like if they'll change, they will change.
It's when.
And it will not be in your favor.
Right.
Because that's the way I always tell people with Facebook. The best example 10 years ago is when I wrote my first book. And I remember posting about it, and organically, I think it was like 500 comments and it was like 1,000 likes or something. This was an organic just post celebrating my book launch.
Right.
10 years later, that same post, if I were to do, I feel like it would get 30 likes and like 5 comments. And it's not even like, maybe it's myself, some is to blame. I haven't kept up with the platform, but at the same time, it's just they turn down the organic because they want you to pay.
They want you to buy the ads.
They want you to buy the ads. So it's like, no matter what you're doing, and TikTok, that's kind of the reason. And again, there's variables here. It's not just saying like we're all shadow banned. That's not
right.
But TikTok, it's interesting though to see like some people that have like millions of followers, some of their videos, some of them will have millions of views. Others could have like literally like 2,000 views.
Right.
And that's TikTok. For whatever reason, everything's different, but they're just like, they pull the lever and they're like, no, we're not showing
on this one. Yeah.
So inevitably, all I'm getting at is what you're building, no matter if it's with you guys or it's your own website, however you do it, you always want to be pointing traffic back and building your own following internally, because that's the only thing that you're gonna
that's who you own it. You own it. And there's no copyright, issues. And it's yours. You can do, and you can, if you want to advertise on your site, right, then you control it.
Exactly. And that we do books. So like what I always tell people with a book is when people purchase stuff on Amazon from you,
right.
You don't get the info. Like you don't know who purchases your Amazon stuff.
Right.
Amazon does. So you want to put in there like links inside of I just know books because that's what we do, but could be anything. Give your customer a way to get in contact with you directly.
Exactly.
Because Amazon ain't going to give you a spreadsheet, that's not how that works.
Yeah, you don't get a monthly distribution of who bought what.
Yeah, and that would be pretty convenient for a lot of reasons. But so cool, man. I want to leave the floor to you. Anything else you want to share that we didn't cover, please do. And then let people know like websites, socials, like how they can stay in contact with you.
Sure. Our website is viridityentertainment.com. That's VIRIDITY entertainment.com. On LinkedIn at Howard Zales, Instagram, Facebook at Howie Zales. And we have a special running right now. Your first production with us gets 10% off. So you can head over to our website, viridityentertainment.com.
Perfect, man. Thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Tyler. I had a blast.